At Crystal Farms, farm and family are at the heart of everything we do. It's why we proudly source our dairy from a cooperative of family farms across the Midwest. Crystal Farms, for farm and family. Learn more at crystalfarmscheese.com.
Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype, it's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Featuring dangerous Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And we're coming to you from a couple different locations, as is usually the case, only not all of us are from home. No, our astounding, fantastic team of Brian Schmidt and Dan Margetta are up at Elkhart Lake at Road America. We're getting ready to do some racing today with the IndyCar series. Is this the first major race on this repave?
I think it is, because it's this is the first national touring series. I think the motorcycles were here before. I mean, you can count them as a national series, I suppose. But for cars, this is probably the first one. And I'll tell you what, this place is fast. This place is smooth, and it's exciting. It's kind of chaotic this weekend.
It's tricky. It's definitely tricky. These guys are having their hands full every session. Friday wasn't so bad. They were out there, but I think they took it easy because we didn't see the lap times like we thought they were. I mean, these lap times are 5 seconds faster than what they ran last year.
Oh, my God.
And they are, and I mean, it's not quite breaking. They didn't quite break the track record of Dario Franchitti had with the kart champ car in 2000, but those cars had 300 more horsepower. Those were turbocharged. So it was a little bit kind of an apples to orange comparison, but they were within a second of it yesterday. And the caution came out at the very end of qualifying for Colton Herta, and they thought he may have been on a lap that would have broken that record, but we'll never know. So, but yeah, it's fast. It's tricky. It's a completely different type of asphalt than what you see on your roads. If you take a look at this was put down last October. It's still black. It's still jet black like they put it down yesterday because there's polymers in it, and it's fast. These guys, it's billiard table smooth.
One thing
Isn't it usually slippery when that happens, guys?
Yeah, it's because it's smooth, and especially if it heats up. So far, we haven't had the super hot temperatures to make it really crazy. But one thing they were saying is when they paved this track, there's no seam in the middle of the racetrack. Though before the track had a seam in the middle of it, and that's smooth all the way across now.
Yep. Yeah, they ran 2 paving machines. If you see them work on your, on the road in your neighborhood, they had 2 paving machines side by side. So there's no where they stop paving one day and they start the next. That's a natural seam there because it cools off. They put the whole layer down in one fell swoop. So these guys, their reference points are all off. They're not what they were before. There's no bumps like they had before. So it's definitely different, and it is lightning quick. It's definitely worth watching.
And speaking of watching, it will be on the USA Network today, beginning at 12 noon. So I don't know if that's when the race. What's the schedule? Is that for pre-race stuff?
Yeah, pre-race. The green flag is scheduled for about 12:30. The flyover is let's see, the flyover is going to be at about 12:15, 12:12. So if you're in the Sheboygan County area and you're not at the racetrack, which shame on you, you should be here. But look up in the sky, you'll be able to see the incredible flyover they're going to have today. But yeah, driver start your engine is at 12:23. Green flag at 12:30.
We saw a practice run of that flyover on Friday, and it was pretty impressive. A bunch of A-10 planes, and was it the tanker?
The big refueling tanker.
Oh, is USA is one of the NBC networks, isn't it?
Yeah, ever since they got rid of the NBC Sports Network a few years ago, that seems to be the network they're going to for a lot of coverage of their different sporting events. So that's where this one's going to be today.
It's also one of the reasons why we don't have a cup race today, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, there's no cup race today, not because of Father's Day or the holiday or anything like that. It's because NBC took over coverage of the U.S. Open. Fox had the U.S. Open for the last several years, and NBC took it over. The U.S. Open this year is in California, so it's ending a lot later. So as soon as this race is over, they'll probably go into U.S. Open coverage. But they had no place to put a cup race today because of that.
I'm just a little bit confused, guys. This is NBC is now they've taken the baton, are going to do the rest of the season. But, it's not unheard of that they have more than one race on USA Network in the same day. They could have possibly juggled the schedule so that these races followed each other on television, don't you think?
Yeah, but I mean, think of the full resources that they have out in Los Angeles for coverage of this U.S. Open. Equipment-wise, camera, all that type of stuff is just taken up. That's such a big event to put out to everybody, and especially when it's in the middle of Los Angeles. That's where all of their resources are at.
When's the last time in NASCAR we raced on Mother's Day and not Father's Day?
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I used to go to the race with Michigan for years.
Yeah, this is the last off day until the end of the season, when there's going to be 20 Sundays or race weekends in a row, not necessarily Sundays.
Off day of their only off week the entire season. They've raced Daytona all the way up until now.
And there's some guys, which I'm sure you will agree with me, that are in some hot water right now. With these 10 races to go before the end of the regular season, we've got guys, not just guys that aren't in the playoffs yet. We have a couple of top 4 from last year that aren't even in the playoffs yet. Chastain has not won a race yet this year and is not eligible. How about half, count them, half of the Hendrick cars aren't in yet. Bowman and Elliott, neither one is in yet. And coincidentally, both of them had injuries from non-NASCAR related activities, which have kept them from maybe. Has that hurt them? It certainly has taken away opportunities to get their cars qualified into the playoffs. And then, of course, Harvick in his last year, he's not in yet. You got guys like Suarez, who was in last year. I mean, come on. It's time to get off your ponies and let's move this show along. Can you believe it?
It's time to go. And I think a lot of people are surprised Chase Elliott. I know he got hurt. I think a lot of people were surprised when he came back he wasn't stronger than he is. I mean, I thought he would win a race by now, at least put himself in it. And he hasn't even really been in contention much.
No. And then the road course stuff, I guess, is the most disappointing thing. You thought he'd be a little bit stronger there because that was his bread and butter. But you think back, they say his last road course win was here in 2021. So it's been a while since he's been really good on a road course.
And he was so dominant up to that point, too. Not just like that. This was something he pulled out of a hat. He was winning on road courses all the time.
Yep. And, that was the old car, too. So he really hasn't won a road course race in the new next-gen car.
Oh, I didn't even think about that one. That's amazing. NBC's, of course, starting next week, and that'll be the Nashville Super Speedway, not to be confused with the racetrack that gets all the headlines down there, the one that doesn't even have a race at the fairgrounds within the city limits. This is outside of, Lebanon, Tennessee or something? Half an hour away or whatever in the Nashville Super Speedway. And next week, as NBC gets started, 6 o'clock start too. Just, keep you informed with that. Imagine. NBC starts with a 6 o'clock Sunday night race next week. So there's so much that goes into programming. It just blows me away. I cannot imagine that it couldn't have been done today, but the U.S. Open is kind of a big deal. And NBC's putting all their eggs in that basket. Last week was the last race of the year for Fox Sports, and it was at Sonoma, California. It was a road course, and Martin Truex Jr., who, there was a guy, if there's a track that is meant for one driver, apparently it's Martin Truex's track because, was it his 4th win there? Come on. That's amazing for a guy, especially that hasn't looked particularly spectacular, although he has won 2 races already this year. Imagine that.
Say for Gibbs, if you look at Joe Gibbs Racing, he's the number 1 guy right now, I think. I mean, Denny seems to get all the headlines all the time, but Truex is winning the races.
Yeah, and he's the point leader with that. We don't look at points much anymore, but he's got 2 wins now, and he's the overall top man in the point standings. And
C. Bell apparently is their future. Well, of course, along with the 54 car, obviously, and the younger Gibbs kid. But, the old guy is leading the parade there. It's pretty amazing when you think about it, isn't it? And by the way, Kyle Busch had another strong run. And I had to tell you, I was actually rooting for Kyle Busch in that race when it looked like he had a shot last week. And every time he wins, I think it tightens the jaw of Joe Gibbs a little bit, letting him get away. But of course, we have to think about the future. That's for sure. We're glad you tuned in. The boys are up at Road America in beautiful Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. We'll sneak away and come back with you.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
And now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
Rory McIlroy is speaking now.
He looks like a man who just lost his dog. He says, I still hate live. He means the style of play. I hate them. I hope it goes away.
Yes, it's not golf. Golf is 72 holes. This is just a concoction to go, we're having more fun. Okay?
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekday mornings 8 to 11 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to LTN. Todd Bailing, Dan Margetta, Brian Schmidt all joining you. Listen, I want everybody to realize that Ed Kluka's celebration of life is next Sunday, 1 week from today. It'll be from 1 to 3 in the afternoon at the Lynch Pavilion at the south end of Slinger Speedway. Everybody's invited to stop in, and there'll be some remembrances, I am sure. And Ed has had a very long life in the world of racing. It was his life, and not like me. I was a mailman. Ed lived it every day of his life, and we're going to have that celebration 1 week from today. It's Remembrance Night at Slinger Speedway next week, but it'll be from 1 to 3 before the racing gets underway next week at Slinger Speedway at the Lynch Pavilion. So hope to see you all there. I have a story this week that I've tripped across something that I know, and I'm not real sure the ramifications. I can tell you that it's good information. Everybody will have to make up their own mind of what it means. We will kick around some ideas, but this is a kind of a big deal. This is very reliable information. That's the first thing I will tell you first. All right, I just keep this in mind. If you'll remember, at the beginning of this month is when the big penalty came down at Stewart-Haas Racing. For the 14 car. They had a counterfeit neck duct that was going to the engine. It It was modified from the single source provider. And by now we all know NASCAR loves gotcha. They love it. And it was huge, 120 points. At 35 points maximum per race, look at that. That's over 3 races worth of points, plus 25 playoff points. Plus, John Klausmeyer, the crew chief, got kicked out for 6 races and got replaced for 6 races. And I can't.
Who else loves summer but gets a little overwhelmed by all the plans? Daily Harvest helps me conquer the morning and kick off my day with intention through nourishing and delicious food, all delivered to your door. Daily Harvest is the easiest way to get your daily serving of sustainably sourced fruits and vegetables without the shopping, chopping, and post-cooking cleanup. Go to dailyharvest.com right now, enter promo code HARVEST, and get up to $65 off your first order. Their strawberry and peach smoothie or apple and cinnamon oat bowl are the perfect addition to my morning routine. They also have tons of options for any time of day, like flatbreads, harvest bowls, and bites. We all deserve easy mornings. Let Daily Harvest give you one less thing to worry about. So don't wait. Order your meals now at dailyharvest.com. Enter promo code HARVEST for up to $65 off your first order. That's dailyharvest.com, promo code HARVEST for up to $65 off.
Have it all with the Disney Bundle. Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Watch Avatar: The Way of Water and Secret Invasion streaming soon on Disney Plus. One last fight. On Hulu, check out The Kardashians and White Men Can't Jump.
You ready? Oh, I'm ready.
Then, catch the NHL, UFC, and MLB on ESPN Plus. The Disney Bundle, starting at just $9.99 a month. All of these and more, now streaming. Plans with ESPN Plus starting at $12.99 a month. Blackouts and restrictions apply. 18 plus only. Access content from each service separately. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Terms apply.
Even tell you, I don't even know or remember what the monetary fine was, but it was huge. It was embarrassing. And was it just a coincidence that right after that penalty got handed down, Tony Stewart cleaned his office out at Stewart Haas Racing when there was nobody in the shop, nobody to ask him what he was doing or why he was doing it, and cleared out. He is gone from Stewart Haas Racing. What does this mean? This is what we don't know. I can tell you that the people that work at that place have no idea what is going on. Thank you, Aaron Baird, our contributor. $250,000 fine on top of everything else that was handed down. $250,000. And Stewart is gone. Where did he go? Why did he leave in the middle of the night? There is nobody that works at that place that has any idea what is going on. There was no notice, no information from the employees, and it just happened to coincide with all those penalties. Now, let's face facts. Tony Stewart has a lot on his plate. Lately, he doesn't even have his scruffy little beard. He's clean shaven. His hair is combed. He's wearing a tie. He's smiling for the cameras, and he's doing television and looking good. The guy's got drag racing team that he has to deal with his wife, which is, by the way, a Dodge, not a Ford like he was in Cup. He's got the All-Star Circuit of Champions, right, Brian? I mean, that's a kind of a big deal right there.
Yeah, and Eldora Speedway.
And Eldora Speedway. Plus, doesn't he have an outlaw team, too?
Yep, Johnny Schatz's World of Outlaw team. Yep.
He's got a lot on his plate, and he is in the process of building a new complex, house, garage complex, in Havasu, Arizona. I'm just not sure what it means. And I'm not the only.
I mean, you don't know for sure. I mean, has he really been around NASCAR tracks? I haven't really seen him in a while. Maybe the office is cleaned out, but the name's still on the door, kind of thing. You don't know what the plan going forward is there. I mean, he could just be cutting back. He does have a lot on his plate right now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe since he's not going to be there anymore, maybe they're passing a lot of that duties to someone else, and he's going to hang out, more with Leah, obviously, and do more of that stuff. I mean, he's at every NHRA drag race, even when he's not participating. He runs a top alcohol dragster. They don't run every single event with the NHRA series. They run about half of them. So half the time he's actually participating. The other half, he's the boss. I mean, we saw him in Chicago. He's very hands-on with that drag racing thing. He's out there for every run. He's talking to people constantly. That's where his hands are in that more now than the NASCAR stuff. And maybe that's just his preference now.
Let's review quickly how Tony Stewart happened to own this team. Now, this is what I understood, guys. He never had to put up any money. Mr. Haas had put a team together. He's not short of money by any means at all, but he was unable to attract any frontline drivers to drive his equipment, and therefore was unable to draw any frontline technical people to his. All he had was a lot of money. So he wants to win. What does he do? He mulls over his options. He goes to Tony Stewart and he says, how would you like to own half of a cup team? What do I have to do? Put your name on the door. Well, geez, is there any downside to that? It doesn't seem like it. So it became Stewart Haas Racing, and for Mr. Haas, he is able to attract one of the greatest drivers in the history of NASCAR to drive his car. That's step number one, why it was a good move for Haas. Step number two, who wouldn't want to come and work with Tony Stewart on a cup team that Stewart's putting together? So he attracted the best people in NASCAR over there. And of all things, they start winning races. They win a championship. Haas looks like a genius. Stewart's still winning. Stewart backs out. His car gets picked up by, they hire other drivers. They are able to attract sponsors. If they don't have enough sponsorship, Haas goes into his pocket and covers, like, for instance, the 41 car. Everything is going just fine. And then Stewart, in the middle of the night, sneaks out, and nobody knows where he went.
But going forward, too, though, sponsorship-wise, I mean, they've got Smithfield, and who knows, as long as Almirola's around, if he doesn't come back next year. And Anheuser-Busch was on the bidding thing right now. I mean, they thought it might go to the one car. If they can get Josh Berry into it, maybe they'll keep that. But the other sponsors, they don't have a whole lot of big stuff over there.
Anybody have any ideas? 414-421-7901. And remember, you heard it here first. We'll be right back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit BonafideSafe.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
A full night of racing is set for this Saturday night at the Fair Park in Plymouth. Watch the Grand Nationals, B-Mods, Wing Sprint Cars, and the return of the Legend Cars. Next Saturday night, July 1st at the Fair Park in Plymouth, it's another all-open wheel show. The bumper-to-bumper IRA Sprints return. They'll be joined by the Plymouth Dirt Track Racing MSA Sprint Cars, and making a special appearance will be the Lightning Sprints. Gates open at 4:30, opening ceremonies at 6. The Fair Park in Plymouth, just off Highway 23. We'll see you there.
This is The Herd.
Attention listeners.
With Colin Cowherd.
It's fun to come to work and be excited about what we're doing.
The last time Aaron Rodgers was this motivated were those 2 years after the Packers moved up to draft Jordan Love. What followed over the following 2 years after that, Aaron had 85 touchdowns and 9 picks.
This is The Herd.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
But Dan, I was just wondering, maybe this whole Stewart thing has something to do with the fact that they have not made any announcement yet, even though there's been some pretty strong rumors about a possible replacement for Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, everybody thought it was going to be Josh Berry and it was going to be done over Memorial Day weekend, and that got pushed back. And they're still working on it apparently. I mean, the stories out there said it just has to be finalized. I think a lot has to do with the sponsorship with Anheuser-Busch. I think they would stick around. I mean, I think they were, talking about leaving. They were talking about going to the one car, and if you just the way things have gone, and the one car doesn't have a lot of good press right now lately. I mean, Chastain's kind of been involved in a bunch of skirmishes on the racetrack and kind of got a bad reputation going on right now. So that might have soured that. I mean, you know how the sponsorships are and how companies are. Josh Berry's kind of like Kevin Harvick, kind of an old school kind of guy to move in there. I think it would be a perfect fit. For some reason, they can't get the contract finalized yet.
I wonder. I mean, we're talking about since the beginning of June that this may have happened, and I wonder if this has anything to do with why they're, maybe this whole Anheuser-Busch doesn't, if nothing has come out yet, I'm sure that Anheuser-Busch doesn't even have any idea that Stewart might not be a part of it. Then again, we don't know that, and maybe it's, would Stewart, would Budweiser want to make sure that they were in bed with Stewart as part of the deal? And if Stewart wasn't there, that might affect that whole sponsorship thing.
The bigger issue with Anheuser-Busch might be what's going on with them outside of racing. They got some serious issues going on right now.
Oh, the Bud Light thing, yeah.
Money-wise, so they might have been holding on a little bit too, because, I mean, they got to look at how much money have they lost? How much money are they willing to spend for advertising now? Is this going to change their whole scope of how they go about going forward? I mean, when you take that kind of a hit, what are the first things that go?
Such a hit, as a matter of fact, that Bud Light was the number one selling beer in America. Did I see that right? It's now Modelo. Hello, is this right? Can that possibly be right? Doesn't, they said it is a 25% decline in sales. Be careful what you do when you're advertising. I think it would be very good for their company to stay involved in NASCAR, but maybe this whole Stewart thing has something to do with why they're, still holding off.
Well, they got to think about the 10 car. I mean, Almirola, a lot of reports are he may not come back next year. This might be his last year. He's hinted at that. I mean, in the past, he said it was going to be his last year. Then he came back this year. And so he's kind of on the fence, but like a lot of people are expecting the 10 car to be open next year. Who would go in there? I mean, the names that have come up as far as for a possible replacement, I saw this week Jenson Button's name came up. I mean, he's an F1 guy. Would an F1 guy, an older F1 guy, would he want to be a full-time NASCAR driver? I mean, he ran a couple races in the 15 car, which is a Rick Ware thing that was kind of a partnership, I think, with Stewart Haas.
He did the thing with Hendrick this past, last weekend with the Le Mans series. He'd be a fan favorite, because he is a very personable guy, completely the opposite of Kimi Räikkönen when you're talking about Formula One guys that have been in NASCAR. Jenson Button is very approachable, very personable guy, and it'd be good for the series. Would he be competitive? I don't know.
Yeah, there's that. Keep in mind that the 41 car that, Ryan Preece is in right now is self-sponsored over there by Haas also. They need a sponsor. And as much of a great story as that was, that Ryan Preece went over there, his average finish is actually not even as good as Cole Custer's was. And Custer, of course, has won this year in the Xfinity Series. It seems like there's some turmoil going on over there. And that whole penalty, that monstrous, terrible penalty, has just been a bitch slap to Stewart Haas Racing, overall. So I don't know, guys. We're gonna have to watch that close and find out how the investigative reporters got their nose in on that, talking and asking some pretty hard questions, because it seems to me, they can't be seriously happy. Ford can't be seriously happy that Tony Stewart is now a Dodge owner in drag racing. And, Dan, if he's visible and working with Dodge and all at those events, what does it all mean, especially for, a deal with Ford?
Yeah, it's odd when you have guys have different teams with different manufacturers. I mean, Ganassi kind of pulled it off in the sports car stuff for a while. But, yeah, I mean, what hat do you wear? And it's competitive. I mean, car manufacturers are really competitive. I mean, it's like any company, really. I mean, beer companies are that way too. Between Anheuser-Busch and Miller was a big deal. If people got in trouble for just, holding the wrong thing. If somebody gave you a wrong can or something and you had it and you got your picture taken,
it happened to Scott Hansen at Milwaukee.
So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that's going on. So I can't imagine they're happy, but his sprint car team is Ford, right? I mean, the NASCAR team is Ford, and now Dodge isn't in NASCAR. I mean, they're not anywhere near that, so it's not really a conflict there. But
no real plan to come back either. Boy, wouldn't that have been a perfect situation for them to come back? Have Stuart Haas get enough funding from Dodge to make his 4-car team become a Dodge team. I mean, that had to be so good for NASCAR. But does anything like that actually happen? I guess not, Folks, this is the busiest week of the year in the state of Wisconsin. We had the Clash at the Creek going on this week up at Francis Creek. Was that an IMCA sanctioned event, or was that just modified?
No, it was the full-on IMCA event. Yep. It was rained, pushed back a day. It was supposed to be Tuesday, Wednesday, but because of the rain, we actually rained here. On Tuesday, we had it was moved to Wednesday, Thursday.
Unbelievable. Of course, ASA at Milwaukee today. You got the World of Outlaws at Beaver Dam last night. Indy Cars at Road America today. We got the Super Lates at Slinger Speedway tonight. This has been the absolute pinnacle of racing in the state of Wisconsin, particularly in our little neck of the woods down here. So I hope you've picked out one of those events or more and have gone to them. And, we need to all support racing, that's for sure. And we hope that's where you are headed today. We're going to take a break and come back with you. Hang in there.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th.
Who else loves summer but gets a little overwhelmed by all the plans? Daily Harvest helps me conquer the morning and kick off my day with intention through nourishing and delicious food, all delivered to your door. Daily Harvest is the easiest way to get your daily serving of sustainably sourced fruits and vegetables without the shopping, chopping, and post-cooking cleanup. Go to dailyharvest.com right now, enter promo code HARVEST, and get up to $65 off your first order. Their strawberry and peach smoothie or apple and cinnamon oat bowl are the perfect addition to my morning routine. They also have tons of options for any time of day, like flatbreads, harvest bowls, and bites. We all deserve easy mornings. Let Daily Harvest give you one less thing to worry about. So don't wait. Order your meals now at dailyharvest.com. Enter promo code HARVEST for up to $65 off your first order. That's dailyharvest.com, promo code HARVEST for up to $65 off.
Have it all with the Disney Bundle. Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Watch Avatar: The Way of Water and Secret Invasion streaming soon on Disney Plus.
One last fight.
On Hulu, check out The Kardashians and White Man Can't Jump.
You ready? Born ready.
Then catch the NHL, UFC, and MLB on ESPN Plus. The Disney Bundle, starting at just $9.99 a month. All of these and more, now streaming. Plans with ESPN Plus starting at $12.99 a month. Blackouts and restrictions apply. 18 plus only. Access content from each service separately. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Terms apply.
The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with 8 adults. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
A full night of racing is set for this Saturday night at the Fair Park in Plymouth. Watch the Grand Nationals, B-Mods, Wing Sprint Cars, and the return of the Legend Cars. Next Saturday night, July 1st at the Fair Park in Plymouth, it's another all-open wheel show. The bumper-to-bumper IRA Sprints return. They'll be joined by the Plymouth Dirt Track Racing MSA Sprint Cars, and making a special appearance will be the Lightning Sprints. Gates open at 4:30, opening ceremonies at 6. The Fair Park in Plymouth, just off Highway 23. We'll see you there.
This week on NASCAR Live, Christian Eckes joined the show.
Yeah, no, the confidence is definitely high. I can't say enough. The people are great, the equipment is great, and I feel like I'm in the best situation I have been in to win a championship. Like I said, the trucks are really good, and it's just a really good situation for me so far.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Every Tuesday night at 6 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back. Nice of you to join us this Sunday morning on arguably the biggest racing week of the year here in the state of Wisconsin. Big weekends for sure. The Phoenix race announced this week that the championship race is a sellout for the fourth year in a row. If you were thinking of going to Phoenix for the championship race, you're going to have to buy tickets from an aftermarket seller right now because they're done selling tickets. And no surprise, it's a big show, and I think we have no idea who's going to be in it yet until the week before. So it can't be because you think your favorite driver is going to be in it. You'd have to go just for the event, and certainly they have drawn as NASCAR had hoped they would for that event over the last couple of years. A couple of Toyota stories this week. Martin Truex winning, by the way, in a Toyota. Oh, did I mention that, of course, once again, we all had our picks wrong last week? We're good at that. Nobody picked Martin Truex. And if we'd thought a little more about it, he's pretty good at that track. But
my second pick, I did think about it. I put him on my DraftKings team when I won $30. So how's that?
$30. Hey, cash is king, baby. Who cares who you picked here? You won money. That's doing it right. Toyota is whispering things, They're very happy to have Martin Truex in their car. Now, what they need to do, if they're so happy, is to somehow make sure that he's back in a Joe Gibbs car, because as we all know, Gibbs has absolutely zero loyalty to his drivers that have been good to him over the years and have won many things for him over the years. Doesn't matter. What have you done for me next year is how he looks at things. And Truex, it was generally regarded this was going to be his last year. And look at the kind of year he's having. 2 wins. He's in the playoffs. He's looking good. The team is, it's a great testament to sticking to your guns, doing things the right way, and waiting for the dust to settle. And then eventually you're going to be back in victory lane, which is what Truex and his team have done. And so Toyota naturally wants Truex back. Well, does Joe Gibbs say to Toyota, well, if you want him back so bad, you find me a sponsor? He's got a couple of sponsors on the car that are pretty loyal to Truex, don't they? I mean, that Auto Group and Bass Pro Shops.
He's with Bass Pro Shops since his Xfinity days. Really, it's been a long time that way. So I think it's okay there. And Toyota, they funded that car for Eric Jones a couple of years ago. They keep them around. I don't know. They can't fund everybody that way, but I think he's fine there. I think Denny's going to be back another year at Gibbs.
Oh yeah, that as we know, his sponsor's back, and that's what it means.
Their loyalty as long as they bring a sponsor. Think about it that way.
And you got to look at the Toyota pipeline. Is there really anybody in the wings waiting right now? A couple of years ago, we had all these Toyota drivers coming up. Now, not really. You got John Hunter Nemechek. Well, I don't know if that's worth. Would you dump Martin Truex Jr. for John Hunter Nemechek? No, I wouldn't.
Sammy Smith, no.
No, Sammy Smith. No, he's
probably not ready yet.
No, he's not ready yet. So it was Ty Gibbs was the big guy that we were all waiting for and moving up. Well, now he's moved up, so there really isn't anybody down there right now. I would think that's ready to go. Jesse Love is a long ways from ready to go. There's plenty of them out there, but none of them are making big time moves right now in the Xfinity series that you'd think they'd want to move up.
Yeah, it's weird. Toyota had all those drivers at one point. Now it looks like Ford's got guys. They got Zane Smith. There's a bunch of guys on the Ford side that may be ready to move up and could find a ride should you need some somewhere.
And think about it, gentlemen. You just mentioned, the Ford pipeline, and who are they talking about coming over and taking one of the iconic Fords is a Chevy guy and Josh Berry. If Josh Berry is, available, why wouldn't perhaps Josh Berry go into the 19 car? His loyalty is to Chevrolet right now, but does he have a major deal for next year? Not yet.
No, that's very true.
Keep that in mind. By the way, mentioning Toyota talking about having Truex back, they're beating their chest about Jimmy Johnson going to abandon Chevrolet and go to a Toyota next year. This is not news. Now, we talked about this a while back. I mean, Richard Petty's team, Legacy Motor Club, and Jimmy Johnson are going to be changing from Chevrolets to Toyotas next year. Well, it's just something just doesn't seem right about the whole thing. But Toyota, as you would imagine, is just saying, we just can't wait to see Jimmy Johnson in a Toyota. It's coming, folks. You're going to have to get used to the thought of seeing Jimmy Johnson in a Toyota next year. There were rumors it might even happen before that, but I don't think so. But just imagine the whole thing. Richard Petty is going to be my tongue hurts saying that. There seems to be something sacrilegious about saying Richard Petty and Toyota in the same sentence. It's again, if you didn't believe that Petty has less and less to do with that team, next thing you're going to tell me is it's going to change to a Toyota. Can he even say Toyota? I don't even know.
His name's just on the door there. I don't think he has much saying there anymore. But that's just kind of the way things are going. I mean, he's kind of getting older too, and then eventually he's going to get phased out. And I think it's slowly happening there. But I think one team you got to really pay attention to is the Ford team, and it's front row. The 38 and 34 cars, they have a lot of good people over there, and they've been cherry picked the last couple of years. Crew chiefs and I think Blake Harris was over there. He went to the 48 car, but I mean they've the last 2 years they've lost their crew chief up that 34 car, and it's gone to do better things. And I think McDowell might be looking. I mean, people might be looking at McDowell and saying, hey, he's taking his so team and they're actually running pretty good.
He's done great, hasn't he?
And Zane Smith isn't bad, and he's in a cup car. And Todd Gilliland has really impressed a lot of people. I mean, they didn't have a full season for him, and he's actually, if you look at guys coming up and in the future, where's a good place to look for some talent? A lot of it's there. Trouble is they can't keep it there. They seem to move to other places. So I mean, does Ford look at them and say, maybe we got to pump this team up because there's some good people here?
They're good. You got that right, Dan. And a lot of potential. And I think McDowell, it continues to impress. This new car has certainly worked into McDowell's wheelhouse, hasn't it? He was never this good in that other car. And yet he's running up at the front all the time. Folks, that's what it's about. Who's running up at the front every week? And the guy's up in the points and everything. I mean, come on. Michael McDowell, who would have thought? And a better guy you're not going to find, and an accomplished road racer, too. So imagine how good he did last week out at Sonoma. It was pretty interesting. We're glad you tuned in. We're going to come back with some results from around the world of dirt track and paved track racing, so hang in there with us.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with 8 adults. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your National Park of of speed.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Saturday, June 24th at Dell's Raceway Park. The Alive for 5 Super Late models are back in action with the Trickle 99, presented by Lube USA. See the best Super Late model drivers from 5 states going door to door in heart-pounding racing action with $5,000 to win. Gates open at 3, qualifying at 4:30 with green flag racing at 6. Get your advance tickets online now and save at DellsRacewayPark.com. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Rich Keeter on top of the flag stand, puts the green in the air.
Heads back to Music City, to Nashville Super Speedway.
Oh, and they make contact at the front of the field. Majeski into the outside wall.
As 4 races remain until the playoffs.
Check flag is out. Grant Enfinger across the line, and he has done it again in 2023.
It's the Rackley Roofing 200.
Friday night at 6:30 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Another full week of dirt track racing all across the country here. We'll start way back on Monday up in Orrville, Ohio at the Wayne County Speedway. The All-Star Circuit of Champions Ohio Sprint Speed Week continued, and Tyler Courtney picked up the feature win then. Also on Monday in Kokomo, Indiana, the XR Super Series had a $100,000 to win Super Late Model feature. That's right. That's not a misprint. I didn't say anything wrong. They paid $100,000 to win on a Monday night in Kokomo, Indiana, and Hudson O'Neill took home the money then. We'll move over to Wednesday night. Francis Creek, Wisconsin, the 141 Speedway, night number 1 of the Clash at the Creek. It was supposed to be Tuesday, but it rained, so they pushed everything back a day. The IMCA stock cars were the headliners on Wednesday, and Logan Rohde picked up the win there. Peoria, Illinois on Wednesday, the UMP Summer Nationals kicked off their 5-week swing. $5,000 to win, and Brian Shirley got the feature win there. In the modifieds, it was Alan Weiser. Thursday night up at Francis Creek, the 141 Speedway, the Clash at the Creek 19, $10,000 to win for the IMCA modifieds. They had 63 cars show up for that, and Johnny Whitman picked up the win. Last year, Johnny Whitman was the first car to cross the finish line, was DQ'd. He made amends for that by pretty much kicking their butts for the most part in the entire 50-lap race. The 50-lap race went green to checkered without a caution for the IMCA modifieds. The IMCA Stockers were also there. Aaron Stulp picked up the win on Thursday night. New Richmond, Wisconsin, the Cedar Lake Speedway for the Masters. Night number 1, $3,000 to win for the USMTS Modifieds was Carlos Armada Jr. $3,000 to win for the late models went to Jake Radetzky, and the USRA Limited late models went to Larry Fitzsimmons. Kankakee, Illinois, night number 2 for the UMP Summer Nationals, another $5,000 to win on the line, and Brian Shirley grabbed that as well, making it 2 for 2. The UMP Modified winner was Tyler Nicely. Chillicothe, Ohio, the Atomic Speedway for the All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Cars, the Ohio Sprint Speedway. Ageless wonder Tim Schaefer picked up Thursday night's win. Chilton, Friday night, Gravity Park, the Badger.
Who else loves summer but gets a little overwhelmed by all the plans? Daily Harvest helps me conquer the morning and kick off my day with intention through nourishing and delicious food. All delivered to your door. Daily Harvest is the easiest way to get your daily serving of sustainably sourced fruits and vegetables without the shopping, chopping, and post-cooking cleanup. Go to dailyharvest.com right now, enter promo code HARVEST, and get up to $65 off your first order. Their strawberry and peach smoothie or apple and cinnamon oat bowl are the perfect addition to my morning routine. They also have tons of options for any time of day, like flatbreads, harvest bowls, and bites. We all deserve easy mornings. Let Daily Harvest give you one less thing to worry about. So don't wait. Order your meals now at dailyharvest.com. Enter promo code HARVEST for up to $65 off your first order. That's dailyharvest.com, promo code HARVEST for up to $65 off.
Fidgets were there. Adam Taylor got the win. Modifieds went to Marcus Hopner. Grand Nationals Jeff Richards, and the stock cars was Tim Warner. Seymour, the Outagamie County Speedway, the IMCA modified feature winner was Jordan Bartz. The stock cars went to Eric Arneson. Over at Darlington, the Lafayette County Speedway and the IMCA modifieds, Jeff Larson was your winner. The limited lates went to Jason Robbins. Night number 2 at Cedar Lake Speedway in New Richmond for the Masters, $5,000 to win for the USMTS mods. Caden Carter was your winner. And in the late models, Nick Anvilink. And the USRA Limiteds went to Brad Waits. Up at Superior, the Gondik Law Speedway in the Wissota late models, Travis Bucelavich was your winner. The modifieds went to Brandon Kopp. Down at Beaver Dam, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series had their first of 2 days, and Gio Selzy picked up the win Friday. Granite City, Illinois, the UMP Summer Nationals. Tri-City Speedway, Bobby Pierce picked up the $10,000 prize. Modifieds went to Michael Long over Kenny Wallace. Kenny Wallace was there, and he finished second. Eldora Speedway, Rossburg, Ohio, the All-Star Circuit of Champions Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Sam Haperteef Jr. picked up the win. Maryville, Tennessee, Friday, the Smoky Mountain Speedway for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. They had twin 6,000 win features for the field. Chris Ferguson and Ricky Thornton Jr. got the wins there. Last night at Plymouth, the Badger Midgets were there. Brandon Welty got the win. The UMSA 360 Sprints went to newlywed Ben Schmidt. Ben Schmidt got married on Friday, hops in his sprint car, and wins on Saturday. That's a good story. Makes the wife happy there.
Yeah.
Grand National feature winner was Justin Pearson. Up at Shawano, the late models, Lucas Postel got the win. The IMCA modifieds went to Wyatt Block, and they paid $4,000 to win for the IMCA stock cars, and Luke Lemons got the win there. Down at Wilmot last night in the modifieds, Joey Siegert picked up the win, and the IRA wingless sprints went to Clayton Rossman. Up at Ashland, the Wissota modifieds, Shane Sobrowski, Rice Lake. In the Wissota modifieds was Mike Anderson. The final night at Cedar Lake for the Masters, $10,000 to win for the USMTS modifieds. Dustin Sorensen was your winner. $10,000 to win for the late models. Jake Radetsky and the USRA Limiteds went to Chad Preisel. Night number 2 at Beaver Dam for the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, $20,000 to win. Sheldon Houdenchild picked up the win. The final night of the Ohio Sprint Speed Week was in Portsmouth, Ohio. Brett Marks got the win. Scotty Thiel made the feature, and he finished 12th. Down at Fairbury for the UMP Summer Nationals, another $10,000 to win. Bobby Pierce picked up the win, so you got 2 wins for Bobby Pierce, 2 wins for Brian Shirley if you're keeping score of the Summer Nationals so far. Modifieds went to Mike Harrison. And the big money race of the weekend was in Maryville, Tennessee at the Smoky Mountain Speedway for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the Mountain Moonshine Classic. And Ricky Thornton Jr. picked up the $50,000 top prize. Don't look now, but Ricky Thornton Jr. is kind of having a season like Jonathan Davenport has had several times and Josh Richards has had over the years. He's kind of dominating.
Davenport was ineffective last night, would you say?
He's been pretty ineffective lately. Other than
didn't really pass anybody in the A main. He just kind of maintained.
Yeah. Well, he grabbed that big at Eldora last week and says, "All right, now I'll sit back for a while."
Yeah, it was quite a week though, and that was quite a show last night at that Tennessee track. I did watch it, just so you know. I'm that kind of a race fan. In the world of asphalt, and thanks to Paul Reichert, starting Thursday night, State Park Speedway. It was the Flip Merwin Memorial up in Wausau. Jason Weinkauf won in the Super Lates. At WIR in Kaukauna, also in the Super Lates, Jesse Oudenhoven was your winner, and Brent Strelka won in the Pro Late models. Friday night at Golden Sands, they had the UMA Super Lates. John Beal was your winner. They had the Illinois State Championships at Grundy, whatever that is. I'm not exactly sure. They had twin super late model features. Blake Brown won one of them, and Paulie Schaefer won the other one. It sounds like he's coming out of his shell a little bit and starting to race a little more. Kind of great to have him back. He was one of the winners at Grundy. Madison and their NASCAR late models, they had twin features. Zach Riddle won one of them, which is not a surprise. Riley Stengham won the other one. Hey, there's one of your Kowicki kids for this year. Going for it, and good to see him get a win. At Norway, the super late models, it was Scott Stanchina. Don't know the name. You get the feeling that might be the first time you hear of him. Nice job. At Toma, it was the Tim Meyer Memorial Shootout. Michael Gilliman in the Sportsman. Last night at Dells Raceway Park, they had the UMA Pro Late Models. Nick Nolden was your winner, the 6-time track champion. And the UMA Mods, Weston Marthaler was the winner. At Elko, Minnesota, NASCAR Late Models twin features. Jacob Gady won one of them. Jake Ryan won the other one. At Jefferson last night, Jason Erickson won for the 5th time this year. At Marshfield, UMA Super Late Models, it was Mark Eswine, your winner. At Rockford, in their last season, NASCAR Late Models, Josh Thiering was the winner. The ARCA Menard Series ran at Berlin Raceway. 17 cars showed up. 10 of them were running at the end of the race. 3 of them were on the lead lap at the end of the race after Jesse Love led like every single lap on a late race restart with 2 to go. He got nudged out of the way by William Sawalich, and Sawalich won it. Interesting race. And the Cars Racing Tour ran at Dominion Raceway in Thornburg, Virginia. Bobby McCarty was the winner. Carson Quapple finished 4th. Last week at the Slinger Speedway. Matter of fact, let's tell you about Slinger when we come back after doing a break. We're glad you're tuned in on this Father's Day weekend. Happy Father's Day to all of the fellow dads out there, and we'll be back right after these.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
Saturday, June 24th at Dell's Raceway Park. The Alive for 5 Super Late Models are back in action with the Trickle 99, presented by Lube USA. See the best Super Late Model drivers from 5 states going door to door in heart-pounding racing action with $5,000 to win. Gates open at 3, qualifying at 4:30 with green flag racing at 6. Get your advance tickets online now and save at DellsRacewayPark.com. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
Set the damn tone, baby. Every Sunday at noon, we replay the choice cuts of Packers history. Join us for Packers Prime with Doug Russell.
In the 2010 season, the Packers won the Super Bowl, but they almost didn't make the playoffs at all.
Formation, give fake to John Kuhn. Rodgers pitch and catch, right side, touchdown, Donald Lee.
Sunday on Packers Prime, the 2010 playoff clincher against the Bears.
Packers Prime, Sundays at noon on Milwaukee's new home for the Green Bay Packers. 97.3 The Game.
Welcome back to this Father's Day edition of LTN here on the Big 920. Glad you could join us. Last week at the Slinger Speedway, I get the feeling Jesse Bernhagen just could run the table. Won his 4th straight pro late model race at Slinger Speedway last week. He was not a regular in the past. This year he is a regular, and my God, he is just doing one whale of a job in that pro late model. Tonight, the super late models are the main show. Hey, it's PMF Landscape Night at Slinger Speedway tonight. Froggy will have his bus. He'll be doing some rides around the racetrack for people, and it'll be big fun. Also, if you are in the Scouts, any scouting unit whatsoever, if you are in uniform, all scouts and their leaders in uniform get in free tonight at Slinger Speedway. The Elite 8 super late models are there tonight. And I just found out, and I think this is pretty interesting, our own engineer, Matt Hangover Losey, is going to be helping with the pit announcing. He's going to be doing some announcing tonight. Most of his announcing has come on the Hangover Show, which is heard only on the internet after this program. But he's going to be working tonight a little bit at Slinger Speedway. So we're all looking forward to that. Trust me. Again, a reminder, next week at Slinger Speedway, it's Remembrance Night at the track where they remember everyone that we've lost over the course of the past year. And Ed Kaluka's Celebration of Life will be held from 1 to 3 before any of the racing next week at Slinger at the Lynch Pavilion on the south end of the racetrack. Public is invited, and hope to see you next week at Slinger for Ed's Celebration of Life. Gentlemen, I can't begin to tell you how bad we are at picking winners this year, but we don't have to worry about that today. And if I tried to throw out a name in an IndyCar race, I would just be grasping at straws.
IndyCar is about the most competitive form of motorsports there is these days. Nolan Siegel has just taken the checkered flag in the Indy Next race, formerly known as the Indy Lights Series.
Yeah, just pick one. Pick an IndyCar guy.
Yeah, come on. There's 27 of them to choose from, by the way.
Is my favorite Slinger driver that won the Indy 500 there today?
Yes.
Elio, baby. I'm always going with Elio.
I'm from the back today.
Yeah, he's got to come from the back.
But I'm going to pick Alexander Rossi. That's my pick.
Oh, Rossi, that's a good one, too. I was going to actually take Rossi. I think I'm going to go with one of those McLarens also. I think Pat O'Ward is going to get the win today. He starts second.
It's been exciting. It really has. With the new surface and as fast as they're going, and it's giving the driver some fits. Willpower. The double birds haven't come out in 12 years. It happened in New Hampshire. They had a aborted restart in the rain. He got mad. He flipped off the tower. He got in an accident in practice with Scott Dixon. Dixon kind of moved over and kind of caused a thing, and the double birds came out. So it's got willpower.
Yeah, he went on a rant. He also complained about Romain Grosjean. He says he should get punched in the face. He complained about the grounds crew at Road America not having a smooth surface after you get off the track. Well, you're supposed to stay on the track. One of the other cool stories out here is AJ Foyt Racing. AJ Foyt Racing, if you followed IndyCar, has kind of been on the struggle bus for quite a while. They haven't had really top-notch talent lately, and they haven't been running that good. Well, they have really turned it around. Santino Ferrucci, who's moonlighted in the Xfinity Series every now and then, and Benjamin Peterson are the two drivers for them, and they both made it into the Fast 12 yesterday. Didn't put new tires on to run in the Fast 6. They saved that set of tires for today. So that could be something to look for as you go forward. But Santino Ferrucci and Benjamin Peterson really have the AJ Foyt Racing running well, and people are pretty excited to see that. And it's cool for AJ. AJ's still around. I haven't seen him this weekend. I don't know if he's here, but what is he, 88? He's 88 years old, Super Texas, and his team is finally starting to run good. So it'd be really cool to see them. It'd be cool to see them win a race here before the end here, so AJ could experience that again.
And no kidding. All right, I'm going to throw out Milwaukee. I would have said Sawalich's major weekend would continue with back-to-back wins on either side of Lake Michigan, but I can't do it. Dan Fredrickson is racing with a passion, and I think it's going to be Fredrickson today at Milwaukee. Guys?
I'm going to take Ty Majeski.
Oh, sure, the guy that's fastest in practice. Brian?
I'll take Casey Roderick. I would take Bubba Pollard, but I don't think the car he's in is quite fast enough. But I'll take Casey Roderick.
Seemed that way. Hey, thanks to everybody for tuning in to the program today. We do appreciate it. And as we like to remind people, real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our in-house engineer is Matt Losi, who doubles as a pit reporter at Slingers Speedway. I can't wait. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.
At Kettle Heating and Air Conditioning, we specialize in 5-star service. From estimate to installation, my team is dedicated to keeping your family comfortable at home. For a limited time only, you can take advantage of tax credits, system rebates, and 0% financing. Save thousands on these great deals, beat the rush, and be prepared for the summer heat. Call or visit KetamaranHeating.com today.